Well, our road to the Super Bowl here on BETDAQ NFL has reached its final stop, and it is the Harbaugh Bowl. Brothers John and Jim Harbaugh. John, of course, the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Jim, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, facing off in the Super Bowl. Unprecedented, certainly in the NFL, to my knowledge, in all of professional sports. I cannot think of another instance in which two brothers, as head coaches of their respective teams, have faced off in a championship game situation. And I'm sure over the next couple of weeks, we're going to hear every little storyline fleshed out to its fullest. Probably hear about every little backyard game of football or game of checkers, what have you. But you know what? This is a story that probably should be told. We'll try to put something here on BETDAQ NFL over the course of the next couple of weeks regarding the rivalry between John and Jim Harbaugh. Read a very interesting Sports Illustrated article, by the way, last year, the year before last, chronicling the relationship between John and Jim Harbaugh. Very interesting. Of course, their coaches' sons, their father, Jack Harbaugh, a longtime collegiate coach. Anyway, we won't get into all the storylines now. Certainly there are many, and certainly we're going to hear them ad nauseum in the build-up to this game. It's a surprise that Baltimore's here. Most people thought that San Francisco throughout the year was one of the best teams in the NFC, but Baltimore, especially after losing 4 out of their final 5 regular season games, nobody had them in this game. They went on the road and beat the number 1 seed Denver Broncos and the number 2 seed New England Patriots in back-to-back weeks. They were near double-digit underdogs in both games, and here again, they're an underdog in this game. 49ers currently installed as a 4-point favorite on BETDAQ, 48.5 the total here. Now, if you think Baltimore is going to win this game outright, they can be backed on the money line at 2.66, 266 on your money. You know, if that sounds a little clumsy, the 2.66 is because, of course, I'm not as familiar with European odds. Though I know that 2.6, that's not quite 2-1 on your money, I believe. San Francisco, 158 on the money line. I think Baltimore has a legitimate chance in this game. But if they're going to win, they're going to need big-time play from their defense. But that defense has been delivering big-time play in the postseason. Remember, the veteran triumvirate of Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, and Ed Reed were not all together on the field until their first playoff game against the Indianapolis Colts. Injuries had separated them. Of course, Suggs missing the first half of the year with the Achilles injury. Ray Lewis tearing his tricep, missing the last half of the season. Since they've been on the field together, they held that explosive Indianapolis Colts offense to 9 points. Denver only scored 21 offensive points in that game because they had 2 return touchdowns. So they held the Denver Broncos to 21 points. And then shutting out Tom Brady and the number 1 ranked New England Patriots offense in the second half. They shut out the Patriots in the second half, held them to 13 points in the game. The Ravens have been playing great on that side of the ball. They're going to need to continue to do that in the Super Bowl because I do not think the Ravens offense is going to be able to have much success against this San Francisco defense. I know San Francisco did not play their best game on defense in the NFC Championship game against Atlanta. At least they played a bad first half. They did shut out the Falcons in the second half. But Baltimore is not as well equipped. Really, there's no team as well equipped in the passing game as Atlanta with their tandem of wide receivers, Roddy White, Julio Jones, and the veteran tight end Tony Gonzalez. Baltimore just doesn't have that type of weaponry. Now, they do have Torrey Smith, a deep threat, and Quan Bolden, who at this point in his career is nothing more than a possession receiver, but still a good possession receiver. Dennis Pitta, an above-average tight end, and Joe Flacco played well. Outplayed Tom Brady, I thought, in the AFC Championship game. A couple of good games in a row now for Flacco. He threw for over 330 yards against the Denver Broncos. Still, I do not have faith in Joe Flacco and the Baltimore passing attack being able to have the same type of success that Matt Ryan and Atlanta were able to have against this San Francisco defense. So I do think if Baltimore is able to do it, it's going to be their defense that does it. The total in this game set at 48.5. So I think if you're going to lean towards Baltimore here, it makes a whole lot of sense to lean towards the under as well. Baltimore and the under might be a popular parlay this week. Even though we have to mention the over is 8-1 in Colin Kaepernick's 9 games as a starter, maybe 9-1. Am I getting that wrong? Because I know the over cashed again against Atlanta. I do believe I got that wrong. I do believe the over is 9-1 in Kaepernick's now 10 games as a starter for the San Francisco 49ers. So tough to bet under with San Francisco right now. But as I said, if you do like Baltimore and the points this game, in this game, it makes a lot of sense to me to maybe parlay that with the under. But San Francisco is the favorite here for a reason. They had a better defense throughout the year. San Francisco finished the year ranked second in the NFL in third in total defense and second in points allowed. Baltimore, meanwhile, finished the year ranked 17th in total defense, only 16th in total offense, even though, as we mentioned, since Baltimore has their veteran players healthy, they have been playing a lot better. We'll, of course, be getting into this game a lot more. We'll be doing all sorts of previews. Everything we can think about Super Bowl related over the next couple weeks we'll be putting up here on BETDAQ NFL. So we do hope you check back as the couple of weeks progress. Can't believe we have to wait 2 whole weeks. We do get the Pro Bowl next week as an appetizer, even though that's a poor excuse for an appetizer. We have put a little Pro Bowl post on the side already. We'll be doing a couple of more Pro Bowl things throughout the week as well. Anyway, until then, for BETDAQ NFL, I'm John Arnett.